Hey everybody, it's Clef from Punchboard Paradise, and I'm back with you again, counting down from number 101 all the way down to number 1. So today, we're cracking the top 50. So today I'm doing 50 through 41, and then we'll get the next one, will come out and just kind of let you know. Then we'll do like the 40 through 30, or 31. And then just letting everybody know, if you want to kind of jump ahead and see what my top 25 games are, and also check out and see what my podcast mates Chad and Richie's top 25 games are, and my podcast Punchboard Paradise, we call everybody who kind of listens to us our Punch Bunch. We also give their top 25 on a podcast. So coming out on the 10th of January. And like I said, you can find that on any of your podcast apps out there. Just look for Punchboard Paradise, or you can go to punchboardparadise.com, and the links are there. So, like I said, though, I'm still here in my 50 through 41. But starting on January 10th, if you want to jump ahead a little bit, you can even hear those. If you don't, hey, stick around with me. I'll be putting all of my top 50, well, my 101, but 50 from here on out on video form as it goes along. All right. So, with all that said, they're like, come on, Clef, stop talking about that stuff and start talking about the board games. And so we're going to start off with number 50. Now, I played a few Legacy games back in the day. Charterstone. I even played a couple of games of Pandemic Legacy. Oh boy, that one with the Seafall. And none of them really were all that exciting to me. I did not really think that they were done well, too overdone. Even Clank Legacy was just too much for what the actual game was to me. So I was really pleasantly surprised when I came across Mr. Reiner Knizia Legacy game called My City. All right? And I'm going to be honest with you, when I first bought this because it said Reiner Knizia, and I was like, I don't even know what this is, but it's Reiner Knizia. It's got to be good. So, or at least worth a try, I should say. And boy, am I so glad that I gave this a try, because I had just a tremendous time. Once again, my absolutely lovely, beautiful wife, who's plays a lot of these type of games with me. She played the whole Ticket to Ride campaign Legacy game with me, and we played this entire thing. And boy, we fell in love with it. It was such a good, fun thing. What do? Basically, you start off by opening up a bunch of polyominoes, and you're just trying to fit those into different spaces, and then you have different ways to score points. And as the Legacy kind of goes along, you're going to put stickers on your board, you're going to change your tiles. Just really well done. You can play this up to 4-player, but like I said, we just played it at 2. Always really enjoy it. Probably dropping down a little bit on my list, just simply because, the campaign's done. We have played the base, or the kind of the game that you play after you've kind of gone through the campaign, and still enjoy it. Currently, right now, we're kind of going through My Island, but My City, definitely, really good place, good game right here. And if you like Legacies, and if you like any type of games with polyominoes and trying to place those, My City would be a game for you. Number 50. So now we're on to number 49, and I'll tell you right now, I know this game is a lot higher. It's a lot higher on the Punch Bunches list, a lot higher on my podcast mates Richie and Chad's list, and a lot of people's list. And I like this game a lot, but it's coming in at my number 49, so a little bit higher maybe than other people, but that doesn't mean it's still not a great game. One of the best Euro games ever out there, and by one of the best Euro designers, good old Simone Luciani, and this is also by Virgilio Gilli, and that is Grand Austria Hotel. Yeah, good old Grand Austria Hotel. So such an amazing, great game. You're trying to get your guests with the different dishes. It's dice drafting. You got to keep up on the Emperor track. It's got just all kind of great things that go along with it. You've got these different servers that you get to use, that you get to do different abilities with. I just can't say enough about this game. Recently, not too long ago, came out with an expansion, which is a good expansion. I do have that, the Let's Waltz expansion. Definitely, if you're a fan of this, I would say it's an expansion worth getting. The Let's Waltz has some really good stuff in it that I think. So, and all right, I'll give the one quick quick little plug, just because this is literally one of the best inserts that I've ever had for a board game. And you can see here, here's the little Grand Austria Hotel. And then you can see here, there's all the bits and pieces and stuff that's all there. So you don't have to, you know, pull all that out. It's just boom right there. And then the whole thing right here with the cards. And yeah, so really nice insert. If you're interested in this insert or any other inserts that 3D BitSpace, you just go to Etsy, go to 3D BitSpace. They've got some great inserts on there. In fact, they got one coming up for another game that I'm going to be talking about here in a moment. But anyways, that was number 49, Grand Austria Hotel. So by 48, this is a game that I played, I'm going to say 6 years ago. I played it one time 6 years ago. I was at Geekway to the West. And I don't know, I didn't get the greatest teach. And I was just, at the time, I was just like, this game doesn't make any sense to me. Not a game for me. And so I said, I don't ever play that game again. Well, then fast forward to just last year. Once again, I was at a convention in Kansas City called DomeCon. And a guy named Trenton was like, hey, have you ever played Ennis? And I just spoiled it. There we go. You know, Ennis, okay? And I was like, Ennis. And I thought about it, and I was like, God, I have played that game. And I was like, but you know what? I was willing to give it another shot. It was a long time ago, and maybe the teacher wasn't as good. Well, as you can kind of tell, that it's jumped up to my number 48. I fell in love with this game. I was so enamored with how, what a kind of a cool drafting card mechanisms that combines a dudes on a map. But it doesn't like overstay its welcome dudes on the map. I think it's just really well done. It's simple. It's, for me, I think it's pretty easy to teach once you kind of, if you get people to understand what the object is with the cards, and especially after a round or two, they're like, oh, okay. And hey, there's 3 ways to win. And if you claim one of those ways, you get to say, hey, I can claim one of those ways to win. And if you're still winning at the end of the round, hey, you win the game. So cool, and the art to me is, I just think that that's really beautiful. And then just all the, you can see the board right here, just, it has those interlocking things. Are they necessary? I don't know, but I think it looks cool. So that's going to be my number 48, Ennis. So my number 47 is my next splotter on the list. And this is probably the biggest box. And earlier when I was talking about the 3D BitSpace has an insert for this one, I think this is his most popular, but it is Roads and Boats. And this one happens to be an etc. This is kind of the, has a little bit of an expansion in there too, just to, just to make more stuff in it. But you can see, my God, this thing is huge. All right, I got to set it down. I'm going to be sitting here doing weightlifting the whole time I'm doing this. So that is Roads and Boats by Splotter. The first couple times I played this, I was like, there's not a lot of interactivity. You're kind of building your own thing, and then you're trying to build part of this temple, and it was like, okay. But then the last couple times I played it, we kind of figured out, oh, hey, you've got wood over there. I need wood. I'm just going to come over and steal your wood. Well, wait a minute. Don't steal my wood. Yep, that's part of the game. So not only, so for those of maybe who have ever played Scythe, and you've never played Roads and Boats, totally different with the exception of you leave all the goods on the board at all times. And if you don't protect them, somebody can come over and just take those goods and take them back to their area and be like, hey, look, now I got the wood. Now I got the, hey, you get the wood, you win the game. So really fun. I really liked this one. I need to explore more. I feel like there's a lot more here, and it's a little bit hard for me. This hard to get to the table because a lot of people don't know this one. I need to start just force feeding this one down and saying, hey, we're going to play some more Roads and Boats. But right now it's going to sit at my number 47, Roads and Boats. All right, so my number 46 is an Uwe Rosenberg classic. And I think earlier in my countdown, I had Patchwork, and I also had Le Havre. But this is going to be my top Rosenberg game, and I just fun. Hey, what do you got? We got a half hour, 45 minutes, a little quick game, but yet with so much meat attached to it. The Bean Game, Bananza. So, woo, what a fun little game. Has the cool, to me, I know there's like a redo of the art. It's like flowers or something. Yeah, forget that. Give me the beans. I mean, look at how cool the beans. They're awesome. A lot of fun. This is a very much a interactive game where it's you got to be very quick about, hey, I need this, and you got to sometimes be the first one to speak up and be loud about it. Hey, I'll give you a blue bean for a coffee bean. Hey, I'll do this, you know, and you're flipping and you're going around, and so much fun. And the whole object is just to try to make these sets of beans, and then at the end of the game, whoever scores the most coins is the winner. Amazing, great game. If you've never played it, it is one that you should definitely get to the table. So that's my number 46, Bananza. All right, so my number 45 is a party game that I have had a blast with in my lifetime. So I've played a lot of, guess the name type of games. Early, we had a game called Name Burst, if anybody's ever heard of that. We used to play a lot. But this game came along and was basically like this is it. And it is the amazing Time's Up. Now, I know it's not for everyone. I know I had a good punch buncher who we played with one night who got done with this game and was like, yeah, I'm never playing that again. It's not for everyone, and I get it. But for me and a lot of my friends, this is so much fun. I have so many memories of playing this game, of just laughing so hard because it's so funny when somebody's trying to get a word and they just can't get it, or they say something just off the wall. I mean, there's just so many good memories of it. I put right in there also, there's another game that's kind of similar called Monikers, which, has the same type of thing. Both of those, just great memories. For those who've never played Time's Up, I mean, literally there's a word on there, it might be, say Ryan Reynolds, and the first round, you can say whatever to try to get your teammates to guess it. The next round, you can only say one word, but they already know, what all the words are. And then the last round, you got to act it out. And then even people have added in additional rounds that they even do harder things that they have to do. But anyways, if you like any type of party game and you like guessing games, if you've never tried Time's Up, you need to. If you have, you probably know what I'm already talking about, how much fun this can be. So that's my number 45, Time's Up. So my number 44, I've talked about this. This is funny because I have, it seems like 2 or 3 different games on my list that I've gotten taught somewhere, and then I don't have the ability to get the game because it's out of print or hard to get. But I've realized, hey, I can use different, like a deck of something else to help proxy this game. And this is one of those cases, and this is Moo. Not like moo, like a cow, but M-U. And in fact, if you go look it up on Board Game Geek, it's like Moo and More, I do believe is what it's called there. But this is a trick-taking game that is best at 5 players. You basically start off the round by using cards to bid of who's going to be kind of the top dog, the chief, and then who's going to be like the vice president or chief, I can't remember, whatever they call them. And then those 2 people will then have, like the main chief will have one other player that they'll be on a team with, and then the other guy will have the other 2 people. And you can play it less than 5, but it works best at 5. And then it's all about trying to get the certain number of points. And if you do, as a chief, you score a lot of points. And if you don't, then the other team scores the points. But the person you kind of bring in with you, they don't lose the points. They just only have an opportunity to gain them. So it's not like, they picked me and I have a terrible hand and now I'm screwed. You don't lose anything necessarily. So much fun. The first game I played that was kind of like this with a team partnership was a game called La Plateau. And I really enjoyed that. But then when somebody showed me Moo, I was almost like, all right, La Plateau has kind of left the building. I'd still play it, but I would rather play Moo at all points in time. I really, really like this trick-taking game, and hopefully one day I'll be able to get a copy of it because I love this game. So that's my number 44, Moo. So my number 43 is a 2-player, card-driven game. So, which, as you may know, if you know anything about me, I love two-player kind of card-driven games, and I'll have some more that will be up further in the list here. But this one is Worsendosvoke, okay? And it is such an interesting game. It's basically kind of post-World War II, and you have kind of the East Germans versus the West for the Germans. And obviously, well, not obviously, but the world it kind of portrays as, the West Germans, they have a lot more, lights and different things that make things good, where the East Germans do not. And then it's kind of the other side trying to bring the other side down, and it's all with card play and then different things. And in fact, this game has a 4-player expansion that you could play, where you can play a team 2-on-2, which is really, really fun. I've only gotten to play that one time, and I'd really like to play that some more. But the actual game, just phenomenal, lots of fun, love the thinkiness of it. Had a couple, most games I played come down to the very last turn, which is really cool in a game like this. So my number 43, Worsendosvoke. All right, my number 42 is going to be a little small game by a guy I've already mentioned a couple of times, Mr. Alexander Pfister. But this one is a good old press your luck game. And once again, this is one of those, hey, we've got 15, 20 minutes. We've got 3 or 4 people. We're waiting on something, we're waiting on the main event. What should we play? Hey, who's up for a little bit of Port Royale? That's right, good old Port Royale, the push your luck game where you're going to be on your turn flipping over cards. When you're flipping over cards, you can at any point stop, and you can either take one of the ships that has coins on it to get you more money, or you can buy one of the cards out there, and the cards that you buy are going to have victory points on them. The first one to cross the 12-point victory threshold is going to end the game, and then whoever has the most points is going to win. Everybody gets equal turns. But you can always press your luck and continue to put more and more cards out there trying to get what you want. And then if you ever do get more, like if you get 4 or more of the ships, you're going to be able to get a second card. If you ever get all 5 of the colors out there, you're going to get a third card. So, you can push your luck and try to get to that. But anyways, fun little game. It's got an expansion with it that I've got. And in fact, I'm positive this now has a really cool big box that's out there, which I did get to play the other day. And it's got some other neat new things in it. I almost need to pick it up because I like this game so much. But always tons of fun. Fun little quick game. And that's going to be good old Port Royale, my number 42. So my final one on this list is, another splotter. So big shocker, I'm going to have more splotters upcoming. But this one right here is a kind of a funny story because the last, like I said, the podcast, punchboardparadise, we had a convention last May. And this game happened to be at that convention. Somebody brought it. And it's a very hard to get out of print game. And they brought it to the convention, and I didn't get a chance to play it. And I was a little bummed that I didn't get a chance to play it. But then later, a couple months later, I went to a convention in Des Moines, Iowa, 18 DSM. And I'm not a big 18XX. Anybody looking for any 18XX on this list? Not going to be there. But it was run by a really good friend, Andrew, and I wanted to go. So I played, we went there. I think I played one 18XX. I think that counts. But then while we were there, the gentleman who had this game let us play it. And so we got to play this. And then it was like a couple of weeks. I was like, I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to get it because prices, I don't even want to talk about how high the prices were. But eventually I broke down and I said, I got to get this game because I had so much fun. I want to play it some more. And that is Greed Inc. Yep, good old Greed Inc. And kind of what the game just sounds like. I mean, this is you trying to be greedy and trying to make the most money out of the companies that you're running. So this game is very can be kind of like an 18xx where you're trying to run companies, or you are running companies, but eventually with those companies, you're going to try to kind of cash out of them. You're going to try to get out of the company so that you can get your own personal money. And then personal money is separate from your company money. And then that personal money you're going to use to be able to bid on different art pieces that give you points. And that's the way you win the game, is by the most points, which is really interesting in a greed game where it's not all about the money, because it's really all about trying to buy these things at the right time. So trying to figure out when to continue to go with your company and trying to figure out when to kick out of your company is really one of the coolest things about this game. I know that I've heard that there's a potential reprint on its way, that they wanted to work some things out of it. There's some kinks in it or whatever, that they feel like they wanted to try to do some things. I haven't heard anything for a while, though, so I don't know if there will be. But if it ever does come back into print and you are a Splotter fan, or anything what I talked about with auctions and companies and stuff sounds cool, go ahead, check this one out. I'm really glad I have it. It's moved up to my number 41, Greed Inc. Well, there we have it. We have made it now through number 50 through 41, just rolling on down the hill. I really appreciate everybody watching this and hearing my favorite games of all time. As always, if you have any questions, be sure to throw them down in the comments. I would love to answer them. Also, if you could, I would really appreciate it if you do the old like and subscribe. Helps get the videos out there for more people maybe to check out and see. And yeah, I mean, that's really going to be it for today. Like I said, appreciate you watching. Have a great night. Bye.